And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. You know what it is. Just talking about the end of it all. I don't know. Alex. The Pokemon market, it's just crashing. I mean, it's just so bad. Prices are going. I'm sorry, I can't do a straight face when I do the intro anymore. Alex, you do the intro for once. I'm the one that always does the intro. You do the intro.
All right. Well, with the Mega Evolution era here, you can see that this person on the thumbnail hit their Mega Evolution stage at a time where they're turning up the heat so high that it's burning up the market, and that's where we're at. So that's
that's a good one right there, guys. But before you find out about this person burning up the market, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. It really helps out the YouTube channel. And check out Alex's channel if you want to see more blue-haired people. All right, Alex, you ready to jump into things?
Absolutely.
Of course, guys.
Nothing else I'd rather do.
So we're going to do things a little bit differently this time. We usually do 45 minutes of just talking. And then after that, we do Q&As for usually about another 45 minutes. We're going to change it up on this stream. We're going to do only about 15 minutes of talking. And then we'll try and do like an hour and a half to like an hour and 15 minutes of actual Q&A stuff, because it feels like we never really get the chance to go over everyone's questions. So we wanted to kind of have a little bit more of a chill day for you guys. But as far as just general topics go for today, I mean, Phantasmal Flames obviously comes out in a month. We can kind of see where the price of the booster box is currently. It's obviously pre-selling for $327. I wonder if that's baked into the cake at this point with the pricing of the two waves, because I mean, at least for me, I'm pretty close to getting most of my allocations at this point. It's already predetermined that it's going to be a split wave. I don't know, what are you hearing, Alex, as far as what people were talking about regarding this set?
It's completely mixed, man. Like, you know, I honestly just kind of stay out of it at this point, because I never know any ulterior motives at this point. I don't know if people are just trying to say certain things to, you know, cause an effect of what they want to see on the market. You know, you'll hear anything from, you know, I'm getting 20, 30% less. I'm getting 20, 30% more than I did of Mega or Destined Rivals. It's literally all over the place. And the problem is, I feel like everyone online, whether they're a content creator or just someone in Discord or a comment section, everyone's got some kind of motive at this point on what they want to see happen, or, you know, what they put out. Who even knows if they have allocations or whatever. I've kind of just stepped back. I just take what you tell me. I take what some other people that have allocations tell me. I'll ask like maybe Pokemon or, you know, Catch 'em All Collectible, some other people. Like, I really don't venture too far out these days, because it just seems like most of the information out there is just either made up or it's, you know, kind of, I don't know how to even say it. It's just like people all want to see what they want to happen with the market. Some people want to see it, you know, go sky high so they can make as much as they possibly can off what they get. Some people want to see it, you know, go down because they just want to see prices go down and get more affordable. And so there's no telling how all the numbers are embellished or not embellished. It's too hard to tell at this point.
I mean, here's the real question, I guess. You know, we can speculate at this point about Phantasmal, but realistically, Mega, the second wave is going to come in a week or two. I mean, we talked about this on the last stream that it was going to be pretty soon. I mean, it feels like it's right around the corner from what my distros are telling me and what your sources have said. So, I mean, what's our price target for Mega? Do we think it's going to move a lot?
It's definitely going to move when this next wave hits, right? Like, I would expect it to drop under $300. I kind of like what I said from the very beginning when we heard about the two waves. Like, I thought it was going to be sky high at release, which it was. And then when we get the second wave, it's probably going to correct. Probably 250 to 300, somewhere in that range is likely where it'll settle, if I had to guess.
Is there a specific strategy that you have in terms of like the megas you're holding or the megas you want to buy, or what's your kind of stance to people that might be holding right now? Is it better to sell before it happens? Is it better to still hold and just pick up more? Or maybe if they're just not wanting to pick up at all just because you think it might be too expensive. I'm just curious what your stance is.
Yeah, in my opinion, selling doesn't make sense because, you know, especially unless, like, I guess you can sell in person with 0 fees at full market price somehow, then it can make sense. But I mean, if you're going to spend fees and shipping online, I mean, and the price corrects, 15%, you're even. Maybe it corrects 20, 25%. Maybe you can like eke out an extra 5 or 10%. Maybe it's just, for me, it's not worth trying to like time the market and play all the buy and sell and trade game and try to like day trade it. Because again, if it happens like I believe it, will, it's probably going to end up somewhere in the 250 to 275 at its lowest after this next wave. And so it's like, why would I sell at 305 just to buy back in 30, 40, $50 cheaper when it's going to cost me about that much in fees and shipping anyway? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a hold, and then dollar cost average in when it gets lower if you want to get more.
Yeah, I feel like at that point, then it just comes down to like what's your entry point, right? It doesn't make sense for you. I mean, if you're someone that was able to get the booster boxes around, the low 200s on pre-sale before it started to, go up like crazy when the news came out is going to be a split wave, then maybe that's a point that you can kind of take into consideration on if it makes sense for you to sell now, cash out, and then depending upon where the price kind of falls out, you can obviously make your pickup then. Otherwise, of course, you can always just wait, because I mean, here's the thing, guys, like this is a set that's brand new. I mean, presumably speaking, Pokemon's going to probably have some more of this product out at some point. Who knows if we're going to get the same quantity of the product after the wave actually comes here. I know there's been instances in which second waves occur and they give you a little bit more, and so there's just the only time will tell is what is going on right now, Alex.
Nero said, he's like, you gonna unblock me on your channel so I can debate you there? I said, actually, I have mod status here, so now I can ban you here too. So he's coming back, calling me names. Sorry, dude. Go ahead.
All right. I started seeing everyone going crazy in the chat and you distracted. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know. At least for me, I'll just give my take on it. I think I'm going to wait on picking any up at the moment. I think if you're in a good entry position now, I don't mind selling it currently. But that's just mainly because we realistically have no idea what the price. I mean, you have to think about this. This is the first time we've had a wave for a product like this since COVID. Like this is going to be, in my opinion, a wait and see approach, because this is going to tell us a lot about what's going to happen afterwards. It could be that prices don't do anything, right? And if that's the case, then obviously it may be worthwhile to take that into consideration if you are someone that obviously is hoping to pick some up on the correction, right? And then, of course, whatever happens with Phantasmal in terms of how people are feeling about that set, if there's a second wave, obviously we can try and use the information that we're gaining from Mega and it having a second wave first to determine how that's going to affect Phantasmal. So I think it's definitely going to be, I don't know, at least for me, exciting to pay attention to, but obviously only time's going to tell.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like, I guess where I get my like stance from is I feel like the entire market as a whole would have to be drugged down to really see massive corrections on Mega Evolution and Phantasmal, because it would get to the point where people would start saying, well, why would I buy a Scarlet Violet base box for 240, 250 when Mega Evolution or Phantasmal's cheaper? And so like I think that would immediately either buoy the prices back up. Unless, like I said, the entire booster box market corrected massively, and SV base and Obsidian and Paradox, Temporal, Stellar, Journey Together all drop back to like 200, then I think it would make a case to have Mega Evolution Phantasmal fall, lower. But with all those boxes being so expensive, at what point do people say, why would I pay these prices for those boxes? I'll just buy up Phantasmal Mega Evolutions. They're way better sets and they're cheap. So that's why I just don't know if they're going to get that cheap.
I see. My only counter argument to that would be is that historically you could have always made this argument.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at some of the worst sets of all time, right? Whether that be Crimson Invasion, whether that be Steam Seeds, or whether that be Emerging Powers, like you could have looked at so many instances in time when they were more expensive than some of the more recent boxes that have come out and been like, well, why would I buy, this item when it's more expensive than a much better set? But yeah, obviously we've seen the prices of those continue to climb just because of general scarcity. I mean, ultimately, I don't necessarily think that is something people are taking into consideration, because obviously they like what they like and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I think more than anything, it's just going to be a matter of the supply that we're going to obviously be getting at this point and the continuation of the craziness of the market. I mean, realistically, like, unless we get like a couple of major sets that come out where people are just not juiced about it, right? We get a Pokemon Go level type set. I just feel like you're not going to really see much of a shift unless you get like some major supply that I don't know.
Well,
It's going to be a mix of the two. Obviously, it always is.
dude, the problem is like there's just no apples to apples comparison in this hobby. It's just like I understand like wanting to look back at the data of 2021 to 2022 and the waved releases and all that. But what I always think about too is the market as a whole was coming down. Like, vintage slabs, vintage boxes were all falling too going into 2022. So it's like the demand was all deflating. At the same time, we got added tons of reprints and restocks and waves. Where it's like right now we're getting wave releases, but the demand's still high as ever. I mean, we have like 5-10% pullbacks at most on some of the Sword and Shield sets. Couple Scarlet Violet sets like ran up, like Paradox and Surging like spiked up really quick. Now they're giving some back. Other than that, like the PSA 10s, a lot of them are at all-time highs, still selling. A lot of the boxes are very stable. Like it just doesn't feel like all the same. Like the wave releases is definitely the same. It just, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like a falling market that we're having these wave releases into.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe it does. Maybe it does start turning. I don't know. It feels different.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is different. Especially it'll be different if they actually come out with the waves on time. So, because they definitely didn't do that last time, but who knows, man? Pokemon is notorious for its delays on things. I mean, do you
have any confirmations yet on when you're getting yours?
There's no exact confirmation. I just hear from my distros, we'll get it within a week or two. Like that's the most recent news. I will say I did get an email about a product that got delayed. I gotta try and see if I can find that email, what that item is, but it just feels like every single day we're just hearing more news about obviously product getting delayed. Oh, here it is. The Mega Gengar EX, the Mega Diancie EX, and Pokemon Trainer Toolkits are now being released on 11/14 due to product issues. So the original street date.
What does that say to you? Like
that the original street date was supposed to be 2 weeks away, and instead it's getting delayed by an additional 3 weeks.
Right. Like, what does all this say to you? Like, does this basically say that Pokemon just cannot keep up?
What it generally says to me is that Pokemon has priorities somewhere else. We don't know what those priorities are, but presumably you have to think that it's printing. I mean, that's it. I mean,
well, obviously it's Prismatic Evolutions. They haven't stopped that. And I don't know, maybe they just like went too overboard on that and didn't realize how much time they were going to need to print this stuff. I don't know.
I mean, my belief, which is obviously extremely speculative, right? So there's no backing of any of this, is that Pokemon, as we're to a guess, is they plan things out far in advance, right? And they probably have some like plan B's and C's, if something goes wrong in regards to like an item skyrockets and becomes unaffordable for a lot of people. And so they're like, all right, how can we obviously correct this? However, if it gets super duper bad and they recognize that falling into this, window of their plan that they have for addressing the prices, a like kind of safety or a fail safe, you know what I'm trying to say, like a safety valve basically of how we can try and address this without feeling like we're falling behind on things, as they start pushing back print dates, which at least that's how I view it. Because ultimately speaking, I don't think people are going to be too upset about the delay of certain things because we're getting things so quickly. I mean, you have to imagine like Mega just came out a little over 2 weeks ago now. And we've got another set that's coming out in exactly a month. Like that's an insane turnaround time. And so most people aren't used to this. And so if delays happen, and especially trainer toolkits and other products, it's not like people get hyped about that. I mean, trainer toolkits will be expensive because of the packs. Like that's realistically what it's going to be at this point. But outside of that, no one ever cared about trainer.
Well, what do you mean? Most people, none of us are used to this. This has never happened. This is kind of unprecedented, this amount of like time in between English sets like that,
Oh yeah.
especially 2 booster box sets.
Well, I guess I say that from other people that are coming from different TCGs. They might
Yeah.
have been a part of a TCG that's had a quick set release time. But yeah, no, if you're obviously someone that's purely Pokemon, this is uncharted territory. So I think that people aren't super upset about the delays. They just want product to be addressed appropriately. And so it's definitely telling us, at least in my belief, that Pokemon is looking and saying to themselves, hey, product prices are insane coming out the gate. Affordability is an issue. Let's start pushing back on some things being released so that we can try and help focus on printing other stuff. Because that's just what at least makes the most sense in my mind, especially too, going back to it, when you have such tight set releases, which they probably preemptively planned out, months and months, or who knows, maybe a year out in advance. It's hard for them to make those adjustments on the fly outside of doing some sort of delay.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm pretty much just kind of letting everything kind of establish as it goes. Like I'm not really jumping the gun on anything right now, like Phantasmal Flames. I'm not jumping the gun with large positions. I didn't jump the gun with a large position in Mega Evolutions. I bought more than I did of Destined Rivals. But I'll probably buy more into this, whatever it does reach on this downturn after the next wave. And I'm just kind of taking what the market gives me at this point. I'm not like the only strategic play I've really made was Prismatic Evolutions lately is buying out large amounts. But other than that, I'm just kind of letting the opportunities kind of develop where they do at this point. I'm not like actively going out and like feeling the need to have to put capital to work if there's really nothing there. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to force anything right now.
No, 100%. All right. So we talked about this at the beginning. I'll just reiterate again. We usually go for about 45 minutes of just kind of talking, Alex and I, but instead we're going to do 15 minutes and then try and do mainly Q&A today, just because, it feels like we never can get to everyone. So hopefully today we're going to be able to get as many as possible. But as always, if you have a question, in all caps in the comments, leave question in all caps and then follow it up with what your question is. Makes it easy for us to find it. And then of course, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe really helps. Shout out to Abraham. Thanks for the $5. Can you guys talk me out of buying 10 to 20 Spider-Man collector boxes? What's your guys' opinion on it? It'd be the first time buying any Magic.
I mean, so I'm a bad person to ask because I was never for the Spider-Man product from day one. So, however, if you believe in that product, this is the time you want to invest in things like that. Like when things get absolutely crushed like that, that's the time when the smart money moves in. So Abraham, if you're wanting to invest in Magic and you believe in the Spider-Man, this is when you want to buy in, right? You don't want to buy into things like Final Fantasy once it jumps from $600 to $1,400. Like that's not when you buy, right? This is when you buy, when things get crushed like this. So from that perspective, I like the play.
I mean, here's my stance on the Spider-Man thing, right? And I've only been in Magic for, a year and a half now. So I'm still relatively new. I'm not the resident expert, but the reason why Marvel didn't do well is for multiple reasons. One, it was horrible to open. It was just not a fun experience. The set was very small. You got the same amount of cards repeated over and over again on the pulls. And two, the more expensive cards to pull were ridiculously difficult. So it just felt like you were getting burned every time you open a pack. And then lastly, actually, there's one other reason why. It's because the crossover, I feel like for Marvel compared to those in the TCG space for Magic is not that big. Like the reason why Lord of the Rings and Final Fantasy did super well is because there's a ton of crossover between people of fans of those universes and Magic. However, with that all being said, that doesn't change the fact that Marvel is still an extremely strong and powerful IP. And if you look at the history of how collector booster boxes has performed for these universes beyond, they've still done extremely well. So I'm of the belief that with the way in which the direction of Magic is going, they're trying to go extremely IP heavy for a lot of their new releases. I mean, they've already leaked that they're going to be doing a Hobbit set. So just kind of following up Lord of the Rings. That's what their game plan is. And so I don't see why. And a lot of people ask this question, like, why did they put the Soul Ring in the set? If you read the comics of Spider-Man, you understand why. But the point being, they obviously did it for a reason past the point of that. They're at some point probably going to have multiple other sets that are going to come out with other Infinity Stones. And then at some point, there's going to be some sort of a gauntlet. Maybe that's a one of one. I mean, who knows how they're going to handle it. But ultimately, I see this being a set that right now a lot of people are upset about, especially as kind of a revolt to the expensive nature of the last couple of collector boxes that have been being pushed. And it's going to just be short term. But if you are a firm believer of the long term of just the IP of Spider-Man as a whole and the potential Marvel, push that Magic might have with some other sets that are going to cause the Spider-Man set to pop off, I think, now is an amazing time to pick it up. It's ridiculously cheap. If you just consider how it's performed like Edge of Eternities, which you're, as an LGS, you're spending so much less to buy these boxes. Edge of Eternities was pretty close to where Spider-Man is, maybe just a little bit cheaper by its release. So the fact that Spider-Man has fallen this hard, it just really goes to kind of show you how much of a correction has been made from this release. So, the question is, do you feel good about buying it all right now, or are you going to want to wait a little bit in case it corrects even further? That's kind of, because right now the price of it's at like $465. You can probably go secondary market and get it for even cheaper. So I don't hate the play. I just think you gotta wait. When it comes to if you pick it up, like you gotta wait on the price to go up. Because let's take another IP, right? Like Fallout. Here's one for example. Which Fallout, some people like, some people didn't care for it. That collector booster box is going for $1,350. So, and that is, I think, 2 or 3 years old at this point. So that's obviously one of the more recent. I don't want to compare it to Final Fantasy. I think that's an unfair comparison. I think looking at that one makes the most sense to kind of talk about. I feel like it's unfair to compare to Lord of the Rings. Here's a good one also to actually look at. Look at Baldur's Gate. See what the price of the Baldur's Gate, because for those of you guys that were in during the time of when the Baldur's Gate release came out, it was an absolute disaster, and prices on everything were horrific. I don't know. Did you hear anything about when that happened, Alex?
No, I just haven't paid attention to Magic until I started opening it on the channel, which was Final Fantasy.
Yeah. So Baldur's Gate collectors, which to be fair, this is back during a time when collectors were a lot cheaper than they are now. But if you look at just the price chart history of the item itself, even with a release like this, being so botched as it was, it went from 200 all the way up to 350 right now. So, and that was like one of the most botched releases ever. So, you've got certain sets that are still performing when just looking at collectors. So, you've got really low downside risks. Your biggest risk is just going to be, could you have taken your money, parked it somewhere else, and made more money elsewhere? That's really it. Alternatively, these collectors, they still perform. They're still going up. Heck, even Commander Masters, which was horrible. That's gone from 200 all the way up to 320 right now. So, it's just time. It's just holding on to it. That's kind of it.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's always going to be your thoughts in your head is like, could I do better in something else? But that's not really what it's about. It's just about growing your net worth, growing your collection value, whatever you want to call it, with taking the least amount of risk possible with the highest upside potential, like that. And with a game like this, again, if you're a believer in Magic, you're a believer in Spider-Man, after a product corrects over 50%, yes, that's definitely time to start taking a position if you want a position in it. I agree. It's definitely time. At least start averaging in.
Yeah, I know. It would make sense to buy some, and then if it corrects more, buy more. It's getting so cheap. It seems dumb at this point. Alex, this is a question for you. Shout out to Bang for the $10. What percentage of your holdings did you sell in order to pay off your house?
Small percentage of the at the time it was larger. Now it's a small, I don't know, maybe like a sixth or seventh of my holdings pay the house off. But
yeah,
again, that was like back at the beginning of the year. Since then, I've been obviously like a much more net buyer than I have net sell. I haven't really sold anything since. And so, judging by whatever things I have now value, it's much even a smaller percentage of what I would have had now. So it really wasn't that much. And a lot of it was just items that, I had already been sitting on and done really well on, like a lot of XY Sun and Moon stuff. And then just parts of like some of my positions. Like I didn't sell out of any position. It was just like kind of like shaved a case or two off the top of some of them was pretty much really it.
Well, to be fair too, you also live in the Midwest. And when did you get your home?
2019.
Yeah, so it was right before everything got crazy. Obviously, it's much cheaper to live in the Midwest.
Well, there's a couple things, right? So we paid $240,000 for the house. But for the last, was it 6 years, 5-6 years, we've been making extra house payments. So we've been putting an extra, like anywhere, starting out from like $1-2 grand up to like $3-4 grand extra per month towards the principal. So like over the last 6 years, we had paid it down substantially. So by the time it was time to pay it off, it wasn't like a too terribly, crazy amount. It was still a lot, but we had already paid a lot down.
Yeah, I mean, the market has changed obviously so much in the past 6 years. So context, I feel like matters for sure. Because I mean, if you were to say right now, I mean, I don't know if you know what the current prices of most of the homes in your area, or let's say what the value of your home is estimated now.
Yeah.
I'm curious what that percentage would be. If
it's like 330 to 350, somewhere in that range.
Yeah. So what percentage of, let's say that you're paying off 350 instead of the initial payment, but we're comparing it to what your collection value was at the time of paying it off. What do you think, instead of it being a 6th or a 7th, what do you think it would have been alternatively?
What? Say that again.
So you said when you paid it off, it was about a 6th or 7th of your collection, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if that price, instead of it being the price that you bought it for, was $350, what do you think the shift difference would have been? I mean, basically you're saying an extra $110,000.
Yeah.
How much of your portfolio would you actually have had to sell off to pay the extra 110?
Yeah, so at the time I probably had around, I don't know, $500,000 in Pokemon. So it'd probably be a lot more, like I'd probably have been like a freaking 3rd or 4th.
Yeah. No, that sounds about right. About a 3rd. So yeah, I mean, housing prices nowadays they're crazy. It's gone up. It sucks.
And when guys, when I say I haven't sold anything since, like, yeah, you guys obviously know I run a business. Like I have, like, here's how we have it set up is I have all of my long-term holdings in a completely separate area. It's on completely different like spreadsheets and like everything than my business inventory. And so when I say I haven't sold anything, the only things I've sold since then is literally inventory for either like from collection buyouts or just packs for breaks. And so like, that's the only thing I've been moving. I haven't sold another single thing from my like long-term holds, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I know that gets like confused a lot.
Poke Investor says, I have a small storage space. Can I stack the cases one on another? No shelf like Rudy without damaging the cases. How many cases is safe to stack until it's dangerous for product inside?
Dude, I have no idea. Like looking at Rudy stacks, I guess there's none that aren't dangerous. I don't know if his stuff gets damaged. I don't go higher than 3 per shelf, but that's just me.
I mean, you have to think like when distro sends us product, they send it on a pallet and they're usually stacking it 5 feet high.
But it's cross stacked, right?
It is cross stacked.
Yeah, I think that definitely changes things. If you're gonna cross hatch them, I think you could probably go, I mean, stack them like a pallet. They're never damaged.
We never stack more than 3 in our shop. That's usually how the highest will go. So, and we've had 0 issues with our sealed product. So
yeah,
that's what I would say.
Yeah.
All right. Evolving Skies is still a great buy with the 2 to 5 year outlook.
Yeah, I think so.
With a 1 year outlook, it's great. With 6 months,
I just bought more Evolving Skies. It was in a collection buyout that somebody offered, but that's one of the things I kept out of the collection. I'm not selling it.
Yeah,
I'm continuing to buy and put away Evolving Skies.
Yeah, I will never get mad at anyone for buying Evolving Skies. It's such a safe buy. At least that's how it feels. I mean, where's the price right now of it? It's still the same price. I mean, the market
just hovers between like 26 to 27. It seems like
it's just going sideways before its next leg up, obviously. Fast forward 5 years and tell me where we are at with Scarlet and Violet. That's just people asking. That's a fancy way of saying what's your price prediction.
5 years.
I mean, every box is at least over 1,000
in 5 years.
Oh, big time. I mean, are you kidding me? The lowest box right now is like 250.
But there's still boxes in Sun and Moon that aren't over 1,000.
What's the lowest price box right now in Sun and Moon?
Probably Crimson and then Burning.
What do you think's a better set? Crimson. What do you think's a better set? Crimson or Scarlet Violet base set?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What about like Guardians Rising? What's that at? Any idea?
Guardians Rising, I have no clue. It's been so long since I've checked.
Oh, never mind. That's in the thousands.
Guardians Rising's in the thousands.
Well, it's over 1,000.
Yeah. Wow.
And then
Time has really changed.
Yeah, everything did move, but a year ago these weren't over 1,000 because I remember looking. So, but they were 5 years old a year ago. So, I'm sure some of the lowest performing sets may not be over 1,000.
I don't know, man.
I think the majority will. I think the top tier sets, I think like the Destins and the Paldeas and stuff, they'll probably be multiple thousands.
At least how I'm looking at it is how far realistically is Scarlet and Violet compared to the rest of the sets, like Obsidian and Paradox. Like the difference between going from 250 to 290 to 330, like it's not like we're talking about some insane jump where you've got multi-$100 like booster box price differences. Like it's less than $100 between the other sets. So at least in my mind, unless you see a huge runaway, like the price runs away for those sets and base set stays cheap. I just don't.
Which, by the way, that has happened though, right? Like, if we look at like, Cosmic Eclipse, how fast it ran away from like, Unbroken and Unify when they were usually pretty close, or like Fusion Strike had really ran away from, Chilling Reign and all those other sets, and they were relatively similar prices before. So it can happen.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely possible. It's just in my mind in 5 years.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I think most sets will probably be over 1,000. I'm just like every one of them, it's hard to tell.
Yeah. I mean, who knows, man? I could be off. It could be,
they easily could. You don't get me wrong. Like it's not.
I mean, we're making crystal ball predictions here.
Yeah, it's not out of the question.
Would you rather buy 3 regular prismatic ETBs or 1 Pokemon Center?
Right now?
Right now, I'd buy the Pokemon Center.
Would you?
Yeah, right now I would. I mean, that it's not like they're just gonna reprint the Pokemon Center into the ground.
I could go either way on it. I could go either way on it because I look at 151 and I'm like, well, yeah, but the Pokemon Center kind of topped out in the 900s, whereas the regular ETBs, if you had 3 of them, it's more valuable. But then again, they didn't print the regular ETBs as much. Yeah, I mean, I think the argument could be made for the Pokemon Center. That's my thing. Is I assume they're going to print more of the regulars. So if we're talking right now, I mean that could totally change in a year, but it just feels safer at least. True, it does feel safer. I agree. Hey, you hit mute. Sorry, I was coughing. I didn't want people to hear me. Question: are a lot of brick and mortar LCSs really hurting the market due to the supply crunch, or is that just something opossums on the internet says without data? No, it's very true. I mean, it's very true. I mean, you have to think about it. There's a lot of stores that, whether it be new stores or just stores that don't have a ton of new set release products allocations. Once they've sold out of that, that's just kind of it. And they're really just hoping until the next set release happens. And from there, they just have to get their product from the secondary market. And then we're just back to square one. I mean, could you make the argument and say like they're in a better position because they would probably be making relatively around the same margin? Yeah, because if you're saying before, the boom, you had boxes you were buying for 95 and you were selling them for 110. And now you've got boxes that you're buying the secondary market that are, we'll say, selling for 200, and you're buying them for 150 and selling them for 200. From a percentage perspective, you technically are better off. I think the big issue though is that's
that's hoping that you're consistent with the supply and that you've got people constantly coming in willing to sell to you. And if you don't, then that's where the issue lies, and you're just full of barren shelves.
I think it's the classic, the rich get richer type thing. I think a lot of the smaller card shops are struggling. I think all the big guys are doing better than ever. Their allocations are crazy high. They're making ridiculous margins. They're I mean, the bigger card shops around me, they're always in stock of everything, and they just have tons of it put away. They're slowly leaking it out, raising the prices with the market as it raises. And I know they're doing better than ever. I mean, but then you look at the smaller guys, they're struggling because they can't get enough sealed product to make it to offset the volume they would be able to do if it was widely available. And they're probably getting hit the hardest is the smaller stores.
Well, just you're at such a higher liquidity amount needed. But before you could be less than $100 for a booster box, whereas now, I mean, a lot of these boxes you're paying. I mean, at the worst, you're paying $250, which is nearly triple of what you had to pay previously. And then you start getting into sets like Paldea and I mean anything in the Sword and Shield era. So yeah, I mean that's where the struggle lies, is that a lot of these shops are like, hey, we have a small amount, we haven't been able to build allocations, and when we're out, we're just having to go to the secondary market and spend all this money, hopefully drawing people in to sell us their supply and product, which for a lot of stores that's very difficult to do. So if they're going to try and find a way to do it, they either have to solicit it online, or they're going to have to obviously spend money on advertising, which then adds another element to them, of course.
Well, I know. I mean, there's stores that have, they've changed up their business model too. They're doing more streaming. I mean, you see Football Pete. I mean, he's live on eBay Live all the time now. I know Mason at Cardinal Gaming. We both know Mason. I know they do a lot of streams now on eBay Live, and so I think a lot of card shops are also picking up streaming as another source of revenue. Because it's harder to get as much product these days.
Yeah, 100%. Maybe this is a very biased take. I think it would be really fruitful if they started to make a like streaming section specifically just for LGSs. Kind of like,
or a streamer product where you didn't have to and I'm not like the biggest like green save the earth guy, but it's like where you didn't have to buy all these retail products and break them all down and just like waste tons of cardboard plastic, take tons of products off the shelves, and you could just buy 1,000 pack boxes from distributors or from Pokemon. It would make a lot more sense. But
yeah, I mean, because we're just in a position now where you have a lot of LGSs that obviously rely on third-party sites like TCG Player. I mean, they've got the icon that you're buying from an LGS. And so I feel like that could be something that could really help out a lot of stores.
And they've made those products before. I've had them. You've seen them. They've made 750 count pack boxes of 151 was the last set I remember them doing it for. And they did it for other sets before that. It's like they actually made distributor level products where you could buy big giant square boxes filled with nothing but 750 booster packs. And I don't know why they kind of got away from that either.
I'm not 100%. Did it actually say on the outside of the box though?
Yeah, it was like a actual a label, it was like a product label. And it was like 151, 750 count.
Dang, that's interesting.
Yeah.
For Alex, why did you buy all those prismatic poster collections? I thought you said stay away from ancillary products because liquidity might be an issue.
Yeah, and so I talked about it before. If you guys get to the point where you're able to negotiate prices because you're taking such a large quantity. I bought so many of them from the same person. They were willing to work me a deal if they were able to get out of them all to me. So I bought 660 poster collections, and the price per pack I got was actually a great deal amount lower than what the price per loose pack was. So I was able to get a sealed product with 3 packs for less than what I could pay for 3 loose packs. And so it just made more sense to me. But to go to the open market and pay retail price for those products, I don't believe in that ever.
Thoughts on sealed SV era PCETB cases?
Yeah, I mean, the cases. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really about paying case premiums. I love holding cases and selling at case premiums. Anything more than like 5 or 10%, I really don't like to go to. So if there's a case premium of like 10% plus, I don't know. It just doesn't seem as valuable to me. Now I know like when they started to do away with cases like Prismatic and maybe even like a set before or after that, I understand those cases must be like are probably really scarce. But before that, Pokemon Center ETBs, they weren't like they didn't sell out at release. They weren't so scarce. They shipped them in cases all the time. And so yeah, I mean they're the cases are more scarce than the sealed item, but it's not as crazy as it was near the end there. So yeah, I mean I can go either way with them. Like if you have cases, definitely keep them sealed. If you're looking to buy, as long as you're not paying crazy premiums, I'm cool with it. If it's a crazy premium, I think I'd rather just buy the regular ETB, the regular PC ETB, the non case one.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I don't really. Yeah, retweet. That's it. That's
Retweet.
all I can really say. Retweet. I don't got anything else to say, man. I mean, that's exactly what I would say. I mean, do I want to buy the case premium? No. Do I want to sell the case premium? Yes. So if it's available before the premium pops off, yeah. But recently with a lot of these PC ETBs, it's obviously already been baked into the cake. So I'm good. So no,
Yeah.
I agree with everything you said. I have a 40K growing to 50K position on Prism. Oh my gosh. Alex, he wants you to pull out the crystal ball. Tell me when you think that could go to like 200K. Love you guys.
Will we see Zach's position hit 200K by the end of what? 2026.
You will say 2026.
It says signs point to yes.
Oh my God. You heard it here, folks.
Signs point to yes.
End of 2026, Prismatic ETBs. Oh my God, guys. Or whatever Prismatic product you have, it's 4Xing in the next year. You heard it here, folks, ladies and gentlemen.
I actually stopped talking about Prismatic. Everyone knows I have a large position and I have a 6-figure position in Prismatic. I don't even want to talk about it anymore because, like, you know how it is. You can't talk about something you own because then you're obviously shilling it.
But then, of course, Alex, if you talk about something you don't own, then obviously you're not truly a believer in the product. So.
Right. Well, no. What they'll say is like, if you ever talk about something that you don't own and you talk negatively of it, people will say, well, yeah, it's because he doesn't have a lot of it. So he's talking negative. And it's so ridiculous. But all I'm going to say about Prismatic is I still think it is the single most obvious play on the market. And I think people are going to look back and it's going to be similar to Crown Zenith. You're going to say, what was I thinking? Not paying those prices for those packs and those products back when it was when it was what it is now. So I still hold true to that. We'll see how things progress, but I truly think people are missing out on a gold mine.
Yeah, I mean, even at 130 a box, it just feels safe. I mean, obviously, if you can get it for closer to 100, fantastic. But if you were
ball player just said one of the best quotes, dude. So anyone that remembers Disney Aladdin, I think it's Jafar that says it, but he says like, what does he say? He says something like, oh, don't forget the golden rule. He's like, whoever has the gold makes the rules. That's what ball player 12 said in the chat. But it is kind of crazy how that ends up working in markets a lot. It's just like the people who have the gold are the ones that, influence the market the most and, end up being right. And that's why Rudy's done so well is like he has the largest positions and can make, a lot of different things happen. We lost Eli. Eli froze out on us. No. All right, guys, I'm going to help carry the stream. What do we got going on here? Question, should I invest in Disney Lorcana booster box first edition right now at the price it's at DD War? If it's something you believe in, man, I mean, for me, I'd rather stick with Pokemon. It's the king. You don't have to worry about if it's going to lose favor like you're going to have to a lot of these like younger TCGs. And so I would say Lorcana, it's a much riskier play, but if it pays off, I'm sure you'll be happy. A lot of people are talking about One Piece really like booming right now. What's funny is other than the blue bottom box, when I sold out my One Piece, I actually got as good or better prices when I sold out like over a year ago now. Like when I sold my Paramount War boxes, those were exponentially higher than they are right now. Even like OP3, OP4 were about the same price when I sold out into the initial big boom when OP5 came out. And so, for the most part, I mean, other than the blue bottom, it was a very good plan. And even honestly, what I've done with the money since I sold has done better than holding all this time. So, I mean, I have no regrets of selling out of One Piece. The Pokemon has outperformed it from when I sold till now. And I mean, I strongly believe a lot of what you could buy in Pokemon right now will likely outperform Lorcana as well. Prismatic Evolutions being one of them. And we can kind of compare and contrast in a year or two and see. But I mean, in my opinion, I think there's stuff in Pokemon you could probably buy that's going to be better. But hey, I mean, again, it's never bad to diversify. You can have some Lorcana, you can have some have some One Piece, have some Magic the Gathering Spider-Man boxes. There's a lot of stuff out there you can make plays on. Pokey Department Store says building a home right now. $115K with electric, plumbing, septic, and workshop, building tiny home for $80K. Iowa is cheap. Man, wish we were in Iowa. The Cabal did get Eli. The Cabal took him down. I figured he'd be back by now. Where is Eli? It's all right. We can hold it down, guys. We can hold down the fort. We will not let the stream die. Not let the stream die. Has distribution in the USA started to sell near market price like they have in Canada? No. No, nothing like that. That's crazy. I'm sorry to hear that they're selling at market price at distro. That's wild. Young Playmaker said, anything catching your eye in the current market? You know, nothing crazy. Like, unfortunately, contrary to what most people think, I'm not like, I don't have endless amounts of money or some kind of like capital fund I can pull from. And so, like I said, recently I made very large plays, like one of them being Prismatic. I mean, where I've literally been, putting a lot of my liquidity into. And so I'm not looking for any major plays right now. Like obviously I bought some Mega, I'll buy some, Phantasmal Flames and things like that. But there's nothing that like catches my eye where I'm like going to deploy a ton of capital into that I really believe in. If you want like some small plays, some of the early Scarlet Violet era stuff, I think some of those singles, like the SIRs, are still undervalued. I think there's plays to be made there. I think they'll probably do well into going out of print next year with, SV1 through 6, whatever it is. So I think that could be a good thing to look at as some of those singles or graded cards of some of those early SV sets. I think could be a good pickup. I know some have already moved, but some haven't. Thoughts on Weiss Schwartz boxes, Heavenly Drill? Dude, I like Weiss Schwartz. I have never really invested in it. I know some of the boxes have really, taken off. I don't have any like serious thoughts on it. I know that like it's definitely hit and miss. There's a lot of Weiss Schwartz sets that don't move. There's some that move very well. It's too risky for me, but it definitely gets opened. I mean, we've been opening Nikki on stream for a while. We have a lot of people asking for Azure Lane Volume 2. So, it definitely has a demand. There is market demand for Weiss Schwartz. Dragonite says, I have a big position in older Sword and Shield packs. Rebel Clash, Darkness Ablaze, Sword and Shield base, Vivid Voltage. When do you think these will become scarce? I love the content. Thanks. I think whenever the next kind of bull run gets here, and again, you could say we're still in one. I think the market's kind of cooling off at this point. We're kind of leading into more of a stagnant market. I think the next leg up, whenever that is, I think a lot of the Sword and Shield sets will really see a level of scarcity the same way X, Y, and Sun and Moon did this time. So I don't know when that is, though. It could be as early as a year or two. It could be as late as 3-4 years. It's hard to tell. Agent Crypto, is Hidden Fates 400 still a play? Oh man, dude, you and Hidden Fates. Agent Crypto's been asking about Hidden Fates since it was like 160 in ETB on the channel. It's so funny. Oh, he's back.
I'm back. Did you see my message on Discord?
No, I was keeping the stream alive, man. I was talking mad shit on you though.
Checks out. There is a massive storm that's going on in the Phoenix area right now, and so the power just flickered and everything turned off. So super duper fun times. Yeah, dude, it's like crazy. We've been getting like
it rains in Arizona.
Dude, we've been getting flash flood warnings like crazy. Like our pool was overflowing yesterday. Like it was, yeah.
They're
If
probably,
you go look on the videos online, you can see some of the flash floods.
They're probably cloud seeding you, dude.
Dude, that checks out, man. Okay, so where should I go next in terms of answering the question? Because I'm obviously out of loop now.
Oh, you can just pick up wherever you want, man. I just answered that last one, so we can just hit a new one.
All right, cool. Well, I do apologize if I skip your question because I lagged out. I only can have access to questions for the past 30 minutes. So
yeah, guys, basically DARPA took down Arizona with some cloud seeding. And
heard here
so
first.
I think they're getting the water from the ice wall.
As time marches on, what is one of the last Pokemon sets you plan to let go of as a long-term investment? Example, Evolving Skies.
What is one of the last Pokemon sets you plan to let go of?
For me, it's my Lost Origin.
I mean, dude, I probably think like 151 will probably be one of them for me. I just feel like that is timeless, you know?
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, Evolving Skies is probably a great example. I mean, Evolving Skies, the Umbreon VMAX in general, like I just think those are kind of like they've transcended the era itself. They're like, I don't know. They're almost like a set and a card of a generation.
Yeah. It's gonna be, I mean, are we talking about from like if we have the product or don't have the product? Because obviously I have Lost Origin, right? To be fair, I also do have Evolving.
Yeah.
How many Evolving booster boxes do you have?
Not enough. I think now that I bought these, like 15.
15 boxes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I only have like 7 or 8.
Yeah, I have 2 cases and 3 loose.
Yeah, I have 1 sealed case.
Or maybe 16. I have one in my display in my closet.
Yeah, dude, they're crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for me it's Lost Origin. If we're just talking about the product I own, and Evolving as well, of course. But if we're talking about the product I don't own a ton of, then I would agree with Alex. 151 makes the most sense.
Dude, I wasn't gonna sell Evolutions back in the day. Like, you know, when it started to boom, it was like 300. Everyone was selling. I'm like, nope, not selling it. Hit like 500. I'm like, no, I'm not selling this. And then 700, I was like, it's a lot, but I believe in Evolutions. Then it hit like $1,000 in the course of like a year, and I'm like, you know what? I'll sell it.
Makes sense. Yeah. I don't know. I'm still holding onto my Lost Origin. I know prices corrected and it's now down to 775 from 900. So, but it'll go to 1,000 at some point, and then from there it'll go to 2,000, and then however much more. Where is I mean, here's the real question, because I feel like the jump from 1,000 to 3,000 just. I don't know how to explain this. It feels like these incremental moves that happen, like they happen so fast. What is what's Cosmic at right now?
Oh, like 4 to 5.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you gotta assume, because if we're just looking at the charts, let's take a look at the charts on this. Yeah, it was $1,000 October of last year. Not saying that Sword and Shield's gonna move in the same way, but like if it does, dude, oh my god, that's insane return. That's an insane. I mean, if you bought a booster box of Lost Origin for $100 and then it goes to $5,000, that's insane. No, that's like legitimately insane.
And they're just gains you can't find other places in this hobby, man.
Am I doing my math wrong? If you have 100 boxes of Lost, sorry, I'm doing math now. If you have 100 boxes of Lost Origin that you bought for $100 a pop, that means they're valued at $10,000, right? And that's the totality of it all, right?
Well, what's funny too is like,
and then if it goes up, What's 100 to get to 5,000? Am I stupid? 5,000 divided by 100.
Yeah, it's
That's 50.
50x.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy too? It's like we're so used to these kind of games in Pokemon, but then like the real world, when they talk about things, people like they make such a big deal out of smaller moves. Like, dude, if you look like gold, right? People will put gold and they'll be like, gold in 2015 was like $1,000 and now it's like $4,000 an ounce. You would have 3x your money in the last 10 years. And I'm just like, bro, you would have 3x your money in the last like year in Pokemon. 10,
Yeah.
10 years in Pokemon, it makes gold look like an awful investment. But like to the outside world, people see that like, oh my gosh, I missed out on the chance of a lifetime. It's like,
I know.
you missed out on that every year in Pokemon.
I know. Dude, turning 10K into 500,000 is crazy. I mean, who knows when the box will obviously get to that price point, but like Scarlet and Violet, we're talking about obviously boxes in the next 5 years hitting 1,000. I think there's a realm of possibility where you could easily see evolving in the next 5 years go to 10K and Lost Origin and some of these other sets going to 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Like it sounds crazy, but that's exactly what we're seeing right now with Sun and Moon.
Well, we talked about it beforehand, but I'm gonna shout out my buddy's YouTube channel. If you guys know, I've had him on my channel a couple of times. Named Steven Fiorello. But he's got a channel. A friend of his, Amit, he's got another channel. Like, Steve's channel is new, but he's got a big following on Seeking Alpha. Writing for the stock market, and then Amit's got like over 100,000 subscribers. All they follow the stock market, crypto markets. Well, like I was on his channel yesterday. I'm trying to look it up right now, see how it did, but. Yeah, it's already has 6,000 views on the live stream. We had 600 to 700 people in there live, and these are all people that are from the financial world. Like maybe some of my followers came there, but it's largely financial world people. It's continuing to get the word out there to the masses in other areas of different, just different walks of life, finding out about the hobby and the gains you can make and the returns. And I just think it's going to happen more and more and more. I mean, I'm going to help it happen. I want to keep getting out there preaching outside of this hobby, our little bubble, and keep preaching it to getting the information out to everyone. Because I mean, the way that people talk about gains in the stock market and crypto and precious metals and real estate, the gains in Pokemon have put largely most of those to shame. And if people would just open their eyes and see it, I think we could have another boom right around the corner.
Yeah. Dude, Pokemon is crazy. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, it's only growing. Like these are only growing. When you look at like the amount of cards, like PSA grades, like I don't think people like really think about the revenues. Like if PSA grades, I think what do they grade like a $1.5 million cards a month, and they're charging like $20 a grade. Like, dude, that's $30 million a month that they're taking in just from the lowest level of grading, not counting any additional charges, any other services. I mean, that's just one grading company. Like you're talking about just putting cards in plastic is a multi-billion-dollar industry across all the companies. Putting cards in plastic is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
It's wild.
Yeah. Oh my God. Am I here? Am I still here? Okay.
Good.
Sorry. The lights flickered again. So I'm like, I'm just waiting for another outage to happen. I just got a flash flood warning on my phone. So if I go out again, I apologize, guys. All right. Next.
Carried away in the flood.
Yeah, seriously. I just bought a sealed case of Vivid Voltage build and battle kits. Am I dusted thinking they're way too cheap with the Zard, Lugia, and Snorlax pre-release promos in there?
I mean, the cool thing about those is if you ever did get tired of sitting on them and they weren't moving, you could always crack them and try to grade the Charizard, Lugia, and all that, and then sell the packs. I mean, but no, I don't think you're dusted. I think, depending on what you got in it, I'm sure like in the next run, I'm sure, they'll do something. I don't know if it's the greatest place to have your money, but it's not the worst, I guess.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's necessary. Yeah. It's one of those hard products that you're saying you're getting your value off of the promo. So how much of a premium did you pay for that? And how much of a premium will that hold? Right? Especially for how niche of an item it is.
Yeah.
That's the hard thing. Especially too, if you were to compare it to buying the packs loose and just going out and straight up buying the promo. and then seeing how the promo performs over time compared to what you bought those items for. It's definitely a tough. It's not bad, but yeah, we don't really ultimately know how it'll look. I mean, you can look at what it's done over the past couple of years and maybe use that as your predictors.
Yep.
Should I invest in Disney Lorcana booster box first editions right now at the price they're at?
I answered this already, so answer it.
Oh yeah.
So give your take.
I mean, here's my thing, man. We're trying to get too cute. Like that's literally my stance on things. Right now, I feel like a lot of people are doing what they've always done, which is when Pokemon English got too expensive, should I invest in Japanese? And then it just ends up being a position where a lot of people are just investing in stuff that they don't understand or investing in stuff that they don't believe in. And then it results in a lot of problems, because if you were someone that got into Flesh and Blood back when first editions came out for that, and you listen to what Rudy said for Monarch and Tales of Aria and some of these older sets, you got absolutely destroyed. So if you're a firm believer of Disney Lorcana and you think that it'll do well over the long term, then go for it. But if you're just someone that's trying to make a pivot move because you don't like Pokemon prices, no, don't do it. I don't know. How far off was that from what you thought?
I agree. I mean, I just like, if people just have to diversify, go for it. Like, I'm not a fan of it. Like, I'd rather be in the most popular IP that has the highest sales volume instead of a brand new TCG that's untested. But again, if you want to take a risky bet, and you're right, I'm sure you'll do well. It's just, do you want to take a risky bet when Pokemon's kind of more of a I mean, I hate saying the word, but more of a sure thing.
Yeah, I mean, Lorcana's not as nearly volatile as Pokemon.
I think Lorcana is similar to taking a bet on One Piece. I think, honestly, like, the Spider-Man bet is a much safer bet than Lorcana.
Yeah.
I mean, at least Magic's much, much more, kind of, they're going to be number 2 TCG, like always. Like, they're kind of set in stone at this point. They're even older than Pokemon. They've been around longer. So it's like, I think that's even a safer bet than taking Lorcana. But again, if you just want to diversify, I get it. I mean, first edition, the first box, if you're going to buy any of it, that's the one.
Yeah, 100%. All right, where are we on questions? Sorry, there's a lot. Thoughts on why Schwartz booster? Man, same thing, man. It's the exact same thing. I think
I know nothing about Wise.
I know nothing about Wise either.
I've been opening Nikki. I have Azure Lane Volume 2 coming. That's about it. I know it gets opened. I know there is a market. That's about it.
Yeah, I know nothing about it. Dude, I swear, I'm not going to say which one it was, but we had one of our employees opening some Nikki the other day, and he was making all sorts of noises in the back. I swear, dude. It's crazy.
What the hell? Is this a real story?
This is, I
wasn't even ready for that.
I have a big position in older Sword and Shield packs: Rebel Clash, Darkness Ablaze, Sword and Shield base, Vivid. When do you think these will become Scar? Love the content. When do you think they'll become Scar, Alex?
Oh man, probably when he takes the throne, kills his brother. I don't know, dude. I answered this one already. I think when the next like kind of bull run comes, I think a lot of Sword and Shield will become like kind of the Sun and Moon scarcity level, but I don't know when that's going to be.
Here's the thing. We talk about what's obvious plays right now all the time, and obviously Prismatic's one of those obvious plays. From the price point, ultimately, Sword and Shield right now, you could make an argument for, is still an obvious play, even though it's extremely expensive, because when it does come time that these booster boxes start to get as old as what Sun and Moon is, they're going to be insanely expensive, and you're going to say, wow, I didn't want to buy a Chilling Reign box at 500 or a Brilliant at 500 because it's too expensive. And then all of a sudden, Brilliant goes to 5,000 or Brilliant goes to 3,000. You're like, I should have done it. Same way with Evolving. I mean, hindsight's 2020, but we were having this conversation for Evolving when it hit 400. And now looking back on it, it was definitely an item that we shouldn't have cashed out on early. Now seeing what the reality of the market is, which to be fair, we didn't know that at the time because we're talking about historical moves that are occurring. So let's just try and learn from our mistakes. Um, Next question. What do you think will need to happen to cause a slowdown Pokemon for us to return? I mean, I've said it before. More supply, less demand. Simple as that. I mean, it doesn't get more complex than that. I mean, anything more you want to add, Alex?
That's it, man. That's all you
More,
can do.
yeah, more supply, less demand. Do you think this market correction is short-lived and we continue to go up? Holidays are over. People getting their tax refunds, 151 finally going out of print. See, I don't know what correction. I mean, are we talking about the fact that some of the products going sideways and down by 10%? Like, this isn't a correction. This is just sideways movement with a small amount of volatility. Like,
And it's not even every item. Like, that's the dude. I'm telling you, it's the social media has fried people's brains when it comes to investing. I think, like,
ignore our thumbnails. We're kidding.
Yeah, I mean
the market's not crashing.
Well, I mean, it's like only certain things are quote unquote correcting. Like a lot of these slabs are selling for like near all-time highs. They're still rising in value. A lot of the boxes haven't come down at all. We're having a new box, Phantasmal Flames, still, I mean, being pre-released over $300, and it's likely going to release somewhere around $300, which, guys, even if boxes released at $200, that is still an incredibly strong market. Like, I think what happens is we get used to such a ridiculous level. And even if it comes down a little bit, people are calling it correction. It's like, dude, if boxes came out of the gate and sold at $200 on unreleased, I wouldn't even call that a correction. Like, a correction would be the entire market as a whole is all coming down by 10, 20, 15, 20%. It's not happening. You have sets here or there, which, by the way, some of the sets that are coming down, they were pumped. Paradox Rift got pumped from like mid 200s up to like $400, and it came back down after the pump. Surging Sparks went from 250 to like 310, and now it's coming back. It's deflating a little bit. It's not going back to its old lows. It's coming back off the pump. So it's like, once things run up, they're going to give some back. And I think that's what we see more happening. Destined Rivals just got a massive drop on Pokemon Center. So we're seeing some people sell that and kind of take the free tendies. So it's having a little bit of a correction. But it's like overall, I don't know. It seems pretty stable. Some of the Sword and Shield era stuff, I will say that. Some of the Sword and Shield era boxes, Chilling Reign, Lost Origin, they're seeing somewhat of a correction. But some of them aren't too. So it's just like, it's not.
But like I said before, it going from 9 to 775, like you can say it's a correction, but it's like 15%. Like that's not like when I think of like a correction, I think of like we're talking 30% plus. Yeah. And then once you start talking 50% plus, you start getting into crash territory. So I don't know.
Even if everything is even like 10, 20, but it's just like if just certain items are like that. And then some of those items are items that ran recently or
it's just a slight pullback. It's a pullback. That's what it is.
When restocks happen, you're going to have pullbacks. That's just natural. That's not like people panic selling off. It's just there's more supply.
Yeah. If you go back in time to spring 2024, what would you load up on?
151.
Yeah. 151. I mean, spring of 2024. Spring of 2024. I mean, I'm not. Yeah.
Wasn't that when 151 was still on the shelves?
Yes, it was.
Wasn't that UPCs at like $80 and now they're like $600?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if we just go a year ago from today, just a year ago, which would be October 2024, UPCs were going for 193.
Oh, okay. So not quite a year ago.
That was in October. Spring, that was in October. He's talking about spring.
Dude, yeah, 151 all
a year and a half.
I would go so hard.
Let's say that in April they were going for 120. Yeah. That's still a 5x return.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, I love Lost Origin, but I'm telling you what, I think that would probably still have been a better return. If we look at Lost Origin where it was a year ago, it was right around 235. Oh shoot. Actually, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe Lost Origin is just as good of a return. Yeah. I mean, Lost Origin was about 150 then, probably, if I were to guess it. Probably around 150. Yeah, I would say, 151 Lost Origin. Where was Evolving at? I mean, it's the same things. Like, we're talking about the same items we liked that obviously went up. Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies. That one a year ago was going for $823. Man, it was probably going for about 5 then at the time. I mean, same amount of return. It's so crazy. All these 3 items all had around roughly the same return amount.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it would have been those 3.
I still stand by my 151.
Well, like I said before, I'm saying it would have been any of those 3 because they all
Yeah.
had the same percentage return over the past since April. So I'm choosing between those 3. I would have taken all of them. Between those 3, if I had to choose, I'm taking them all. Literally any one of them, and you got the same return. Do you think this market correction is short? Oh, we already answered this question. Will Wi-Fi ever become reliable? Yeah, you know. Do we see cosmic booster packs hitting 100 a pack early 26? Wow. What are they at right now?
It's kind of strange they're not yet with the boxes as expensive as they are. I could see that. I don't even know what they are. I could see it. What do we got?
They're at $670. They're at $71.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, yeah, that could easily happen. Yeah, that doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility.
By early 2026.
Yeah. Yeah, I see
Maybe.
it.
It's not easily. I mean, that's a pretty decent. It's like a 50% rise, but
I don't know what this question is. I can only sell graded card through Arizona TCG. Do they sell sealed? I have the OP01 blue bottom case. I'm thinking it's time to move.
no, you'll have to use
Who's Arizona TCG?
their consignment service. They're sponsored by them.
Oh, nice.
They don't do sealed, though. They only do slabs. So you'd have to use like a DC Sports Cards or like a Probstein, someone like them. Because Z&G Emporium does not do it either.
Shout out to Steve F. I'm a medical professional making high 6 figures, but can't be balling like Alex with his Prizzo EV packs. Should I quit my job and work for him, or are there only so many speedboats he can jet ski behind?
Dude, I don't. You think I can afford a speedboat or a jet ski? I'm driving around in a piece of shit Honda. Come on, dude. You think I got it like that?
Great question. Alex, are you going to get a speedboat, Alex?
No.
No? There's
I'm
got to
not.
be some lakes near you.
What's that?
There's got to be some lakes nearby.
I know, man. I'm too boring.
Boring guy.
I'm too old and boring.
Would you consider selling Evo, buy the boxes, open your case, just sell the whole case at some point? There's such a huge premium on the case. I'm selling the case.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's like you want to have like a good amount of like liquid items you can get out of right away, but like the ones that like are a little less liquid because they become so expensive, you got to take the time to sell those to the right person and get your full value out of them. And that's what Evolving Skies is. It's just such a premium in the case. I would sell it as a case.
Yeah.
Sell other things if you need the money quickly. Don't break that down and sell that. I mean,
no, the case premium's too insane. So the price appreciation of SV era booster box deserve. It seems like Sword and Shield boxes took much more time to appreciate.
They did. When you look at the amount of packs that are ripped now compared to what was ripped back when Sword and Shield era was being in print, the rip and ship part of the hobby was nowhere near what it is now. And when you look at the print runs of Sword and Shield compared to the print runs now, the print runs have not went up at the same level as the packs that are being deleted from the market through rip and ships. So you're having a small amount more printed now than back then, but you're having exponentially more deleted from the market, which is why the prices are rising faster in Scarlet Violet.
Yeah.
That's my explanation for it.
I mean, it's just a market cycle. I mean, I've literally shown the chart. It's just higher highs. That's just kind of it, and higher lows. So it's just a continuation of that exact same trend as the market continues to grow. So you're going to have obviously bigger and bigger parabolic moves. And considering the rate of these parabolic moves are going up exponentially higher, whereas the price of booster boxes are not going up nearly as much at a wholesale level. then it's going to feel a lot more exacerbated. I mean, think about it this way, right? Think about crypto. If you have a move go from 3,000 to 20,000, right? That's a like almost 9x return, I think. Something like that. I mean, actually, no. What is that return? It's like a 7x. It's like a 7x return almost. Versus if you have that move go from 20,000 to 69,000, which was the previous high, that's a little bit under a what would that be? That'd be like a 3.5x return, right? So if we're just talking about the returns between the two, from the move from 3,000 to 20,000, it was, from a percentage perspective, it was double that of the move from 20 to 69, right? And so because of that, you might think to yourself like, oh, you could have made so much money if you bought in at 20K, but you actually, from a percentage perspective, would have made more during the time of crypto from 3 to 21. Now, here's the point I'm trying to make with this. With Pokemon, the difference between your moves is during Sword and Shield, you made your move from $80 a box to now what it was at its time. With Scarlet and Violet, you made your move from $95 a box to what it is now, with a complete different shift in the demand of the market. So Bitcoin made its move, but it made its move with much higher demand, and so it was able to make these large legs up. Pokemon demand continues to increase, but the nominal difference between the starting point of where the booster boxes were from wholesale was really only a 10% difference. So it feels so much more exacerbated because the flooring in Pokemon comes from distribution, whereas it, secondary market, or sorry, not secondary market, but like the crypto market and other markets don't have that baseline flooring. Do you get what I'm saying, Alex?
For sure. And I also think, like you said about Spider-Man too, Scarlet Violet's just so much more fun to open. I think people enjoy opening it. Like the ceilings are so high in Sword and Shield, but like everything under the ceiling, other than like Evolving Skies, Crown Zenith, it just doesn't feel good at all opening. And a lot of people like, yeah, maybe Sword and Shield era card is worth more, but like, if you could get 5 to 10 cards in a Scarlet Violet set that all have value, people would rather open that because they know they have a lot better chance of pulling at least one of those than pulling like the Garatina V. Right. And then if you don't get that, you're left with a bunch of other like cards that are, you don't really care about. And I think that's what really drives Scarlet Violet era. The pull rates are so much better, and the sets are just like deeper and more fuller, and they're not all centered around like one hit.
Yeah, no, 100%. Do you think this market correction, I mean, we already answered this question. Any opinion on the Chinese 151? Considering the value of the hits compared to the sealed.
I'm not a foreign language investor. I carry them for my rip and ships because people do like to open the different languages. There are different price points. There's different things they offer, like the exclusive cards. As far as putting them away for long term, it's not for me. My opinion is I'd rather stick with English. It's much more proven. It's always been the top dog type thing. It's kind of like the same conversation we just had about Lorcana and One Piece, all other stuff. It's like, yeah, it's still Pokemon, but do you really want to, risk like moving into these, products that are really untested through like any type of like bear market or any type of hard times? I mean, 150, all these new Chinese products really got big during the hottest market we've ever seen. It's hard to tell if anyone's going to care when things cool off. And if English ever does get more affordable, why would people want these other languages again?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you, Alex. I don't touch other languages. Prismatic ETB or Prismatic Lucario Tyranitar Boxer Seal Collection? Prismatic ETB, of course. Yeah.
Not even a question. Are those the same price, by the way? I hope not.
I don't think so. But
if people are paying the same.
Wait, I think they are. Actually, you know what? I think they are. Here, let me see if I can find those items.
How many packs?
Like 3 packs.
Oh, 14?
Oh, it's 14 packs?
Oh, okay. Well, and it's 111 plus 2 shipping.
Oh, is it cheaper?
Yeah.
What's that price per pack wise?
It's pretty cheap.
You said 111
like let's say 113 divided by 14 packs, so about.
I mean, you're paying the same price.
That's like $8.
That's the same as what Prismatic is, though, price per pack, isn't it? Or is it at 9 yet?
It's less. It's less.
How much is price per pack right now on Prismatic?
Like $8.50 to $9.
Interesting.
I take that back. I do like that.
Man, I don't know.
I actually like that for price per pack.
But it says sealed collection though. It doesn't say investment.
I'd rather have an ETB because it just goes in. It's like you're making a collection. You kind of want to have like all of a uniform kind of thing. In my opinion, I would want to have all the ETBs. But yeah, man, that's not a bad buy at that price, dude.
Yeah, I like the ETB more for the collection.
Jeez.
I don't know. Yeah.
I like it, everyday thrifter.
I don't think the Lucario Tyranitar is necessarily a bad buy compared to the ETB. My thing is, I feel like the ETB will do better long term. The Tyranitar just feels safe right now because it's cheaper than buying loose packs. But realistically, I don't know how long loose packs are going to be suppressed. I mean, just look at 151 and what they did with the Blooming Waters, right? So I don't know what they're going to do with that. So I still like the ETB more personally.
I like it.
Do you think that it's a good time to buy team up booster boxes? The Latios PSA 10 price has been dropping and expected to come down to around 7. What? Yeah, but isn't the team up at like 10K for the sealed?
That's what I'm looking at. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm looking at, I mean, yeah, TCG players way up there, like over 10. I mean, I'm looking at eBay trying to find.
See if we can find last sold.
Looks like there's one at auction at 71 right now. And other than that, you're probably looking around 8.
Last sold was 78 on October 12th, so yesterday.
I mean, I guess they're off their highs. I don't really buy into things when they're that far like run. Like I'm a bad person to ask. I'm someone that likes to kind of get in early on things that I believe in. I usually don't chase too often. I really don't chase things on the way up that high. And I mean, it doesn't mean it's not going to do well. It's going to be a staple and all that. It's just it's very uncomfortable for me to have that much in one product.
Yeah. I mean, right now you've got an auction that ends in 7 hours and it's at 7,500 currently. And you've got another auction that ends in a day in 5 hours and it's got 7,400, and you've got another one that ends in 6 days and it's at $7,000. And there's a lot of times that there's a huge run up in price at the last second. So I'd be surprised if it's sold for 7,500 is what I'm trying to say. I think it'll probably sell more than 78, which is the last sold. So I'm not. Where are we? We'll answer 2 more questions and we'll get out of here. What do you think about the PSA offer for your graded cards? I hear some prices are 85% plus of market grading more niche cards from PSA.
Dude, 490. It's great offers. Like if you are grading for the sake of flipping onto the market and making a profit or whatever, 100% take them. I mean, it's instant liquidity. You don't have to do any work. You don't even have to send them to, PSA or eBay to auction them for you. You don't have to consign them, any of that stuff. You just get paid out immediately at 85 to 90% of market. I don't know, man. Like if you're trying to run a volume business and you're trying to have cash flow, I think it's a great idea. Man,
what are the odds? I mean, I feel like pretty high that PSA is buying a lot of these and holding on to them just to control the market.
They're becoming a complete market maker, dude, because they're going to control this. They're getting the supply. They're already running their own auctions and buy it now listings through eBay. They're the ones grading the cards. Like they're becoming a full monopoly, dude.
Yeah, people don't realize how powerful eBay is at this point. It's crazy.
You know what'd be crazy though? I'm gonna throw this out there. I want to throw this out there, and everyone's gonna say it's crazy, but I just want to throw it out there in case it does ever happen. All right. What if GameStop ends up buying PSA one day?
How much is GameStop worth compared to eBay? Oh, PSA. Sorry.
PSA. No, not eBay.
Sorry. Yeah. How much is GameStop worth compared to PSA?
I mean, I know GameStop has been doing things to raise like more and more cash. they just put out, they just released like their quote unquote dividend in the form of, what do they call them? They're not options. They're, I forget what you call them. I don't know why I'm spacing right now, but basically they gave like a bunch of like option contracts basically as a dividend to hopefully raise more money. Warrants, yeah, they put their warrants out. They obviously hold tons of Bitcoin, tons of cash in Bitcoin. They have tons of cash in general. They did do a stock offering of shares not too long ago to raise more cash. I don't know. It seems like
they're GameStop.
Yeah, it seems like GameStop's piling up cash for something.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. It could be, and they I think what isn't the PSA CEO on their board? I believe.
Oh, really?
Join GameStop's board. There's stuff swirling. And GameStop is obviously actively switching out of the game market into the card market more and more. It's interesting. It's something to think about. If it happens, I just want to be on record that I did throw the idea out there.
Too bad GameStop sucks. Dude, I went to GameStop the other day with my wife because we had someone that gave us a Wii. And I was like, oh, I remember playing Wii. Like, I'd love to play Wii. And I went and bought some of the Wii games from GameStop's like used selection. None of the CDs worked.
So basically, Collector's Universe is the parent company. Oh, this is 2002 numbers. That's
a huge difference in time.
Oh yeah, I'm right. They were worth 4.3 billion then. I don't know. It does seem like GameStop's piling up cash, and they can probably pile up enough to be able to, depending on what their market.
I have no clue. Yeah, I'd be interested to know how much PSA is worth now.
If not buy a controlling interest. I mean, they don't even have to buy the whole company.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed there's just kind of rumblings that could be what they're doing.
All right, last question, then we'll get on out of here. Oh. What? Seems like Hidden Fate's ETBs at 400 might be a play / undervalued. It has a unique promo selling for $300 in a PSA 10. Thoughts?
Dude, Agent Crypto's been asking us about Hidden Fate since it was like 115 ETB. Yes, man. Just keep piling them up, dude. Keep piling it up, Agent Crypto. Hidden Fates is greater than all of their products, brother.
It has a unique promo selling for 300 in a PSA 10, but the odds of that actually hitting a 10 are so low. The cuts on these were horrible. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm still... I was a Hidden Fates believer for the longest time, but its volatility has shown me that it's not worth it. Sadly. But we'll do one more question. No, it's boring. I'm gonna choose one that I like. Sorry. Dude, sorry. So many rankings. Oh, this is interesting. Here's one. Would you trade Sun and Moon Booster Box for Prismatic?
Yes. Not even thinking. Yes.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Like, I'm not just talking. I have my largest position right now in Prismatic Evolutions. And so in the next year or two, you're going to see it play out and you're going to be able to laugh at me and call me an idiot, or you're going to be looking back saying I should have did what Alex did.
I mean, even if we're talking 1-to-1, if you can get more value out of the trade for yourself compared to Prismatic, because it's much more prevalently available, then even better, right? Like if you get if they're giving you like a 110% value in trade, then heck yeah. If you're even 100%, yeah, I think that's fair. No, I think that's fair. All right, we'll end it there. Alex, anything you want to say to the people before we get on out of here?
It's a good stream, dude. I mean, I think everything's good, man. Everything's chilling. It's another week. I mean, I don't know what people hear out there for other people. I really don't watch a lot of Pokemon content these days, so I don't know. It seems like from what I get told all the time, everyone's talking about market, downturns, market crash. I don't know, man. Seems like a normal Monday to me.
Yeah. Someone did say the offer is extremely vague. A prismatic what? Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, in my mind, I just immediately thought ETBs, so I didn't take it farther than that. I was
Yeah,
referencing ETBs.
ETB bundle, just whatever.
Yeah, the good stuffs. But yeah, no, I agree. I think all things considered. Sorry, obviously, I had to.
Hold on, stop. Didn't even answer paid question.
The pay question? What do you mean? There was another pay question. Oh, I didn't see this. Oh my god, I didn't see that. Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll answer this question. My bad. If you both had to restart today, where would you start? So sorry about that. I don't know. Did you see that pop up on the screen?
No, I mean, I saw it. I guess I thought we took it.
Oh
Our
my
bad.
god, I didn't see it. It's not. I'm not even seeing it show up on my screen. That's so weird.
Yeah,
Oh, you know what? Wait, what?
it's all good. We got him. We got him. We got you. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, seriously. Sorry about that. That's so weird.
If I had to restart today, where would I start? I would start the same way. I would start building a social media following, even if it wasn't returning anything, just to start, because if you're starting, you probably have more time on your hands than you do, capital. And so you just want to start putting your time to work, which is just creating free content, right? Getting your name out there. So I would do that, which hopefully would eventually lead to something else. And I would start, finding any collections you could buy anywhere out there, whether they be Facebook Marketplace, Discord groups, whatever like that, buying collections, breaking them down, selling them off individually, making a profit. I would start grading cards, identifying cards you could grade based on, their pop reports, based on the margins you could make, and, start making grading plays. And I would just kind of build up, kind of brick by boring brick the way I did it the first time. So, and I think all of those are still possible today. I think you can still do well grading cards. You can still create a content, a channel. Everyone's still doing it to this day. If you really want to get in the weeds, like, like Eli did, get into the bulk game. You can really start grinding the bulk game. It's a high volume, but the margins are good. All those little things. Like, I think you want to start out doing a lot of little things, figure out what you like, and then kind of hone in and go heavier on what you do like with the capital you're raising, and just kind of build from there.
Sorry, I had to
Oh, sorry. You want to go to all the stores. You want to buy every single thing on the shelf, do the big swoop, and you're going to want to sell it online for twice as much.
Right. No, my God, dude, allergy season's killing me right now. Hold on one second. I'm sorry.
You're good, dude.
This sucks, dude. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, no, I would say I would start pretty similar from where I was before. Obviously, distribution will be much harder to get, so maybe we'll take that out of the equation, but I would still go the route of doing the social media stuff where I went through and tried to market myself and build up a following. And then from there, obviously, trying to acquire my product from the secondary market as best I could and just try to make margins off of that. And then selling through my platforms that I'm obviously trying to market myself through. And then, of course, creating content that could help, push my business out there for people to see. Sorry, I'm trying so hard not to sneeze again.
No, that was good. I think we got him.
Dude, it's so bad. All right. Thank you guys. So sorry about that. I'm gonna go sneeze 1,000 times. Thank you all so much for stopping by. As always, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe. Really helps out the YouTube channel. And as always, check out Alex. Link down in the description below for that. But all right, y'all, have a good one. We will see you all next Monday. Peace.